Hi, everyone, and welcome back to It's Not Rocket Science, 5 questions over coffee. Now, I don't have a cup of coffee with me at the moment because, unfortunately, I've had to leave my office and come outside to deal with a bit of a family emergency. But because of the wonders of technology, I'm still able to do this, and I'm still able to talk to Sharon Grossman, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation. So let me just give you a quick introduction. Sharon is the founder of the Exhausted to Extraordinary method, which I think sounds brilliant, and I hope we're going to get right into that in a minute. It's a 3-step method to unblock your mind, reshape your thinking, and return the joy to your work in 90 days, which sounds extraordinary. 90 days is just such an amazing number. She's a psychologist, coach, and author of an international bestseller, The 7E Solution to Burnout. So she worked with 6-figure executives in order to sort of really return that struggling executive who's got anxiety, overwhelm, and burnout. And she's going to share her tips with us today. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Sharon, Dr. Grossman, welcome to It's Not Rocket Science. 5 questions over what is today me sitting in a vehicle.
Well, Stuart, thank you so much.
So, Sharon, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. Thank you for having me on the show. I've got my cup of tea. It's not coffee, but nobody can really know what's inside this.
I'm glad somebody's got something to drink. That's the important thing. So let's start with what is the problem that you help solve for your ideal client?
Yeah, so typically what I find is they feel stuck and frustrated about being stuck. And the thing is, they either don't know why they keep creating the same results in the world, or they know, but they don't know how to break out of their pattern. So this includes recurring self-criticisms, self-doubt, negative emotions like anxiety, frustration, depression, anger, you name it. And it can also be limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging behavior. So that's really something that they're noticing is happening over and over again, and they just don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, those are very damaging self talk and self things which really sort of get into your head and really damage your performance, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I suppose the question is, what is it that they've tried to do? What have they tried to do before you help them to sort of break out of that cycle? What are they trying which has been unsuccessful?
Yeah, well, I feel like the biggest mistake is that they try to focus on changing their behaviors. So when they want to, let's say, lose weight, they focus on restricting their food and their calorie intake, rather than managing their emotions, which is what really leads many people to overeat in the first place. Instead of increasing their self-compassion, they focus on driving themselves harder and they end up burning out. Now, behavioral change can work, but it's a lot harder to accomplish and to sustain. And that's because our behaviors are really driven by our emotional state, which result from our thinking. And that goes back to our beliefs. So I feel like there's this cascade of things. There's like this hierarchy, and we start from the bottom trying to change our results. And ultimately, because there's like emotions that lead to the behaviors, and there's thoughts that lead to the emotions, and there's beliefs that lead to the thoughts. The biggest bang for your buck is actually starting from the belief level.
Wow, that's a really brilliant way of summarizing it. I have to admit, I've heard a number of people try to summarize it. That one actually hits the nail so sweetly on the head. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
and you're
sure.
right. You've got to start with that belief, haven't you?
Yeah, I
to
mean,
really break through.
If you want to have some traction, that's really the easiest thing that you can do for yourself.
That's fantastic. Okay, so what is the valuable free action or valuable free resource which you believe you could offer today to those burnt out executives that are hopefully listening to this and wondering, oh, wow, that's me. What do I do about this?
Yeah, so what I did was I created a mini course all about how you can train your brain for success. So the first thing it does is it's going to explain to you how the mind works. And then it talks about brain priming, which is a technique that I teach that shows you how to really turn those beliefs around, once you have that turned around, then everything flows much easier, because the way that you think is different. Then you're going to create different kinds of feelings. Your behaviors are going to align with those emotions. And then consequently, you're going to have more of the things that you want resulting in your life. And so typically this is a course that I charge for, but for your listeners, if you put in the code free gift, you will get access to that course for free.
Okay, so I'm just going to display on the screen at the bottom here, drsharongrossman.com. That's the website where we can go and see that course, and where we can actually put that code into that website. Am I correct?
So no, actually that is for my general website, but I will share the link with you, and maybe you can put it in the show notes.
I'd be more than happy to do that. And if you could also make sure that you share that code as well, I'll make sure that goes in. But don't forget this website, people. Get onto that and see what Sharon has to offer. It is a really interesting website. I was looking around myself, I'll be honest, and I was fascinated by some of the stuff on there. So Sharon, so what is the most impactful course or book or program that you've come across which you think has had greatest impact that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I really appreciate that question. And I would say there's a book that when it comes to priming, this is really like the book that had the biggest impact on me, and really brought me to creating this whole new side of my business that focuses in on helping people reprogram their subconscious. And that book is called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Halmstetter. And I read that and I was like, I'm a psychologist by trade, and I've been doing therapy for over 20 years. I've been working with people on their minds for so long and teaching them how to change their thoughts, how to manage their emotions, how to, change their behaviors, how to create goals, like all these things. But the whole idea of really priming your mind and changing the subconscious programming is so impactful that after reading that book, I decided, I'm going to create this program, which I now call the Priming Lab, that helps other people do that. And that's a place where I get to coach my members weekly on how to do so, and how to overcome their negative self-talk or any other aspect of their life that really stems from their limiting beliefs. So if anybody is really interested in this topic above and beyond the free mini course, I would really recommend that book.
I recommend you do both. I mean, I really do, because I know it's something which I have come across before. Limiting self-belief, limiting self-thinking is so important, and can so easily be, part of somebody talking to themselves, the voice in their head, which actually limits some of that thinking. So it needs more people to be aware of the fact that they can address those thoughts. So I'm now gonna hope that you take us forward on this one, Sharon. I've got the final question for you, which is, what's the question I should have asked you, which I haven't, which is my get out of jail free card, if I'm honest. What's the question I should have asked you, which I haven't, and therefore, what would you answer that question for me as well, please?
Yeah, sure. So the question is, what is an example of what is possible with brain priming? And what I would say is, first and foremost, more self-awareness, to really pause and recognize the choices that you have, instead of being on that autopilot mode where your brain is just kind of doing things without really checking in with you, where you're, if it's self-talk, where you're just having the same kind of sentences, self-criticisms and judgments show up again and again without you really recognizing that it's showing up. And when you can do that, you can be a lot nicer to yourself. You can keep your emotions in check, and you can be the version of yourself that you want to be around others. I had a recent experience with one of my members who said that as a result of doing this work, he noticed that he wasn't, because he's like kind of a stress case, and anytime there's like a stressful situation, he gets really stressed out, and then he becomes not so nice to other people, and he gets really judgmental and critical. And he started doing this work, and what it did was it slowed him down enough to recognize that, hey, I don't have to react in this way. Even if it's a stressful situation, I actually have a choice. And once he was able to get to that place, he realized that by doing this, by slowing down enough, he was nicer to other people. And then he said, I get to be the kind of person that I want to be, rather than feeling like I can't help myself, right? This is just something that happens to me and I have no control.
I think I ought to meet him, but that's another question that we ought to address another day. I know that person. I know that person, and I don't want to describe how I know them, but I know that person, and that stress of being unpleasant to people when that's just not you is so difficult to avoid. And okay, I'm going on to this URL, which is at the bottom of the screen. Almost,
and I apologize because I apologize because it's a very long URL. But if people want to find it more easily, first of all, you could just go to the Academy for High Achievers and look for the name of the course, which is called The Power of Priming. And then if there's time, I can post in another link, which is kind of a shorter link, and maybe that will be helpful.
Please post it in. I will put it across, because I think this is an important one, and we love to get these out to people. But whilst you're doing that, what I'll do is I'll put one up at the very end. What I'll do whilst we're just putting that up, I'm gonna remind people, if you would like to spend more time with us listening to some of these talks and getting value out of them, such as what we've been doing today, despite my situation here in a vehicle, you need to get onto our newsletter list. So that's by going to https:// I think everybody knows that one nowadays, tca.fyi. So that's really short, tca.fyi/subscribe. That's tca.fyi/subscribe, and that gets you onto the newsletter list. And if Sharon's been able to put that link into the chat, I'll put that up now. And also, when we put put this out later onto YouTube and LinkedIn and other places, I will put these links at the bottom in comments, so that people are able to immediately get on and see what's available from those courses. But in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll just put back up that teachable course, because I think this is important. If you go to Coaching by Sharon, and no, Sharon's managed to get it across to me, so I can get that. Okay, that's much better. Thank you. So I'm just going to copy that link text and put that up now, so that we can put that across, because I think these are important links, and I do like to make sure that we're giving the value to people that really want to get hold of this.
So it says bit.ly/ the power of priming.
So there it is. It's bit.ly/ the power of priming, and that's PRIMING. If you're not able to spell priming, actually, I know some people put 2 M's in there and all sorts of things, but that's the bit.ly, the power of priming. If you come to that link, and you can get hold of that great course that Sharon has just been talking about. Sharon, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us talking about that. I really think this is an important topic, because that self-talk, self-talk is so damaging, and I've seen it not only in people that I've coached, and I used to manage a large number of people, and I saw these people doing this to themselves. They were telling themselves they weren't good enough, despite the fact that I just literally had a conversation with them where I'd said, I trust you to do this because I know you're good enough. And they would immediately go into a cycle of saying, oh, I know I'll never get this done because I've managed to mess it up or whatever. So go to bit.ly, the power of priming. Remember, that code to get that is free gift.
All one word.
You should be able to remember that. All one word, free gift. You should be able to remember that. Sharon, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. I really appreciate the time you spent and giving us these great insights into that topic. I do hope we get a lot of people coming along to see your course, and I think it's great that you've been able to spend some time with us. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Stuart, so much for having me, and good luck to everybody out there who's looking to really unwrap their mind.
Absolutely right. Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.